Okay, most interesting or surprising news. Well, the best news was with the Conference of the Parties, COP10, that they got nothing done in February after having to postpone it from November last year. That was pleasantly surprising that they weren't able to come to a consensus and ban flavors in e-cigarettes, even though they've been gunning for that. So that was really fun to, start the year with on that end. What was really unfortunate is the vitriol and the, this anti-THR movement, this anti-vape movement that seemed to go from the United States to the United Kingdom, New Zealand. They're mulling. I know the UK is currently mulling over banning disposable vapes. I know New Zealand's been looking at nicotine-free generation. So some of the countries that were, kind of the beacons for tobacco harm reduction are kind of getting a lot more scrutiny, and that's going to be interesting to see how it goes. And then at the state level, because I'm an American girl and everything, in the States, it was interesting to see that none of the state level, there's no flavor bans. We did have a really good win with the Swedish Match, General Snus being able to get its reauthorization order for its modified risk tobacco products. So the FDA is recognizing still tobacco harm reduction. They're just, got a lot of backlog. There's only, 34 e-cigarette products that have been authorized. And then we've also seen our case go in front of the Supreme Court recently. Oral arguments were on December 2nd to determine whether the FDA has, acted beyond its authority when it comes to regulating e-cigarettes. But it's just going to be interesting, I guess. I think 2024 was a year that a lot of stuff really didn't get done, but there's a lot of things happening, and especially with the opposition, that they're setting the stuff up for 2025. What do I wish for tobacco harm reduction in 2025? I would like to be playing offense, all right? To put an American football reference, I don't even care if we get an actual touchdown. Even a field goal would be nice instead of, just constantly playing defense. I hope that, that we have more pressure on the World Health Organization. The COP11 will be taking place in November in Geneva. And I think that, I think we've got a united set of people that we can actually put some more pressure onto the WHO and governments that, currently ban tobacco harm reduction, especially e-cigarettes. It'd be nice to, knock out, especially, the countries in South America. If you look at the map there, it's most of them do ban e-cigarettes. It'd be nice to get some options for people who smoke there. And I'm just hoping at the state level, we've got a new president in town, so we'll see what happens with the states. And it'd be nice to see something happen in India, actually. When you think of all the people who smoke in this country, they've got to have a massive e-cigarette market, but nobody knows about it because they're banned. And you really can't regulate anything if it's banned, and you also can't understand if it helps people. So, yeah, but I'd just like to be playing offense in 2025 is what I hope for. And yeah, I hope to also, kind of put more pressure on the World Health Organization.
I think the most interesting and surprising both was a couple of weeks ago when the European Parliament rejected the Commission's recommendation to extend smoking bans to vaping in smoke-free environments, because this would have effectively banned vaping in almost all public spaces. And the rejection was a major win for us, for all tobacco harm reduction advocates. And it shows that some MEPs, some politicians are actually understanding the tobacco harm reduction concept and discourse and adopting it. So it really gives us hope to fight for the update of the Tobacco Products Directive in the upcoming years, and I think those were great news. So for 2025, what I wish is to see more governments around the world embracing tobacco harm reduction's science-based policies. So basically effectively recognizing the lower risk profile of of nicotine products, of alternative nicotine products like vaping, and recognizing them as essential tools for smoking, which is going to save a lot of lives next year if this happens.